Name's Roger Boaty. Mr. George Roger Boaty.
It certainly is. And good evening, darlings. A very, very good evening to you. And welcome to, what day is it? Wednesday Night Live, which I believe I only got in the door about 6 minutes ago. But from my investigations, I believe for some of you this will be your third or possibly even fourth live stream of tonight, because I think going before me have been Capitan Von Mustard, Tracy and Mickey at the Woody's place, Simon, Project MGTF that I caught the last couple of minutes of, and now you've got me as well. It really is an overload, and we're going to have to crack on tonight, my darlings. I hope you've had a wonderful day, by the way, and cheers. It's never less than an orgasmic joy to be with you. Oh, that's a big improvement on last night. It really is. Now, I've got loads of stuff that I want to tell you about things that have happened today. I've got no fewer than 2 scratch cards that have been won by punters, and one has asked me to scratch it to save me the cost and faff of postage, and the other didn't ask me to scratch it. The other is Mr. Bed and Breakfast, and he gave me his address to send it, and I'm not going to, because I can't be asked. I'm going to scratch it live in front of you guys. You can be my witnesses, and then you can see if he's won anything, and if he has, and the same goes for Joe Cox, I will send it off to you. But also, I'm very much aware that I need to keep right on top of you. I need to keep right on top of you, I do. And specifically, I need to keep on top of your comments, because I'm fed up of getting 45 minutes behind, because I actually try and tell you stuff rather than reading out the stuff that you're telling me, or more usually telling each other. So we'll muddle through it as best as we can. And of course, my elderly iPhone 6 will give up the ghost, or the internet will run out at regular intervals and just make a broadcasting mockery of this entire charade. So let's get on with it, shall we? And let me see whose pleasure I have the company of at this exact moment in history. I've got so much to tell you about today. It's been a really interesting and good day. There'll be a video coming out tomorrow. I do that, you know. I have good days or bad days or mediocre days or days where sod all happens, and I put out videos about them, and virtually nobody watches them, and that's the way it goes. And I get paid a preposterous amount of money for my videos that nobody watches. One of my videos, and I don't mind sharing this, over the 11 months it's been up, has earned me no less than 8 pence. It's money for old rope. It really is. Right. Let's do this professionally, shall we? Should be a good video tomorrow. Well, no, I mean, obviously it won't be a good video tomorrow, but there's a little bit of restaurant stuff in there, I think, unless I buggered it up. Or it looks rubbish in the edit and I don't leave it in there. But there'll be some other good stuff as well. I did things today. And what I really should do is get on with reading your comments, and then I can tell you about the things. And we can scratch the scratch cards. And we can have a lovely conversation where you tell me what you had for dinner. My lunch today was apparently not that memorable because I forgot. Oh no, I remember now. Lazuni chicken, so that's chicken that's marinated for 24 hours in a mixture of stuff, but particularly heavy on the garlic and chili. With, oh God, yeah, I had it with oven chips. Oven chips, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't made my own chips for ages. I stopped when the oil started getting really expensive, and I just don't seem to have started again. I occasionally buy a bag of oven chips and do them. And I should get back to making my own because I make the best chips in the world. Even better than the International Chippy on the Milkston Road in Rochdale. I've told you about them. Four times cooked. 4 times cooked. And they are immense. Anyway, comments. Get on with it, boy. Fed up telling you. And can I just thank you for not being on the wonk? I really appreciate that. Try and keep it up. There's good people. I don't want to fall out with you. But honestly, if you keep deciding to go on the wonk when I'm genuinely making my best efforts to broadcast at you, then frankly, I am going to have to take you to task. Now then, here we go. Here we go. Right. Good evening. Oh, God. I don't know how Brian Blessed does it. Underscore. Matt, good evening to you. Steve Cole, how lovely. Jimmy Quinn, always a pleasure. How's your thumb, say Steve Cole? That's somebody who watched tonight's video. Which one was it? Oh, it was this one, wasn't it? It's okay. It wasn't too bad. It was incredibly stupid, though. Barry says, hello, sir. Hope you're okay. I am, thank you. I'm great. I sent you an email earlier. Yeah, I noticed that, Barry, and I couldn't find it. And I looked and looked and looked, because I wasn't sure what email address you'd sent it to, like a personal one or a business one, or because, you know, I've got quite a few for various businesses and things. And I found it. Oh, you can't see that, can you? You'll have to trust me that that is it. I found it 2 minutes before going live in the junk folder of my personal email. So I've got it now, mate. Thank you, and I will reply to it. Please allow 28 days for delivery, or I might just reply to it on a live, saving the trouble of typing it. I'm such a lazy sod, aren't I? Matt hopes everyone is well, and that's lovely. Joe Cox is with us and says, good evening, Boaty, and all in chat. Hope all are well and healthy, which is a lovely thing to say. And we throw that back at you. And Joe, young Joe, because he, you know, compared to me, Joe is a glint in the milkman's eye. He's a mere fetus. I've got to say a massive thank you to Joe. And Joe is also the reason why I will be finishing quite promptly tonight, because it was another morning when I was up at the crack of dawn, partly through excitement, partly through a healthy sense of wanting to enjoy everything, all of the promise that a brand new day held, but mostly because the parcel force man knocked me up at an ungodly hour and got a glimpse of me opening the door in my underpants and quite frankly, nothing else, darlings, in order to deliver the wind deflectors that Joe so very kindly bought for me and for Miss Boo, the Freelander. And I've had a mega busy day, haven't had a chance to fit them. I'm going to tell you all about that when I get through these comments. But I'm so grateful, Joe. Thank you so much. And tomorrow is going to be Land Rover Day. I've got things to do with that Land Rover. And fitting the wind deflectors is going to be the most exciting of them. And I can't wait. So thank you, Joe. It's massively appreciated. Can't wait to get them on tomorrow. And I'm not talking about my knickers. Rover Joe is amongst us and says, hello, chaps. Hope you enjoyed the intro, Joe. Dinosaur Dad. No, Dinosaur Dad. Yes, third stream of the night for Ross. Wonderful, but off to work. Oh, have a good one. Oh, Alan Jones is with us. Good evening, Mr. Boaty. Alan Jones abandoned us. That's how much he cares about us. He abandoned us, buggered off to Crete and had a wonderful time. Didn't think about us once, and who can blame him? We'd all do the same if we could. Greetings, Boaty of ye olde interweb, says Simon, and I greet you in return. Simon, of course, Project MGTF, one of our community channels, and a prolific and rather expert live streamer. Much better than this crap. He's got lights and everything. And he played out his live stream tonight with his Mr. George Roger Boaty song, which I haven't deleted. I do still have it, and it will still get play. Are you using a different phone tonight, says Joe? No, I'm risking the elderly iPhone 6 again. It's been, touch wood. It's been kind of doing all right today, and I thought I'd risk it because the microphone just sounds so crap with the, with any phone, it just sounds crap. Simon very kindly sent me the links to the microphone that he has and which he recommends for a cheapie, and I will invest in one of those. And as soon as I get a microphone that works reasonably well, then we'll forget about the elderly iPhone 6. I'll probably still use it for recording in the car because it's so much lighter than any of the later iPhones and it doesn't shake as much. Although I need to get a mount like Mustard's that's non-extendable. It's just a rigid mount so the arm doesn't shake. So yeah, I need to, definitely need to get one of those. And anyway, that's all to come. Get on with the comments, boy. You see, this, you fat idiot, is how you end up 40 minutes behind on the comments. You say you're going to read the comments out, you build up to it, you introduce it, you launch into it, and then you go off on one. And the next thing you know, it's 2:30, people are waiting for you to reply to them, and they've been waiting for an hour and a half. It's not acceptable. Pull your socks up, you great tart. All right, steady on. I'm doing my best here. We have been expecting you, Mr. Boaty, says Matt in his best Bond villain voice. Joe bloody missed Project Nigel's live. Oh dear. Well, don't feel too bad, Joe. So did I. I caught about 30 seconds of it. Oh, and Joe goes on to ask, are you drinking that fucking awful wine? Am I bollocks, Joe? No. The remnants of that awful wine are still in the fridge. I imagine that they will end up going down the sink. I am drinking a marginally less awful wine. Well, it is more palatable. And after my day, it's very welcome. And I would argue, well earned. Oh, and Joe says regarding the scratch card, I just didn't see the point of sending me a waste of money and fuel to go to the post office. I agree. And I'm outraged that Mr. Bed and Breakfast expected me to post this one to him. rather than saying, no, just scratch it, Boaty. Don't bother making an hour's round trip to the post office. Don't bother paying £10.50 for a first class stamp or however much it is. Just scratch it. I trust you. I know you'll send me the winnings. No, he wanted it sending. Well, he can bugger off. I'm not as rich as he is. And we should send our condolences to Mr. Bed and Breakfast. And do remember that a cooked breakfast is £10 extra per person. And double rooms are for married couples only. He should have been live streaming tonight, of course. Well, I say should have. I mean, he's not under a legal duty or even moral compunction to. But that is his want. Wednesday night is his regular slot, if you'll forgive the expression. And I'm not talking about his girlfriend. See what I did there? Oh dear. He has been stuck in London on business. So he's holed up in London, presumably in a hotel. And if he's got any sense, he'll be at what time is it now? 17 minutes past 11. Well, if he's got any sense, he'll be at least 3/4 pissed, and he'll have a nice prostitute from King's Cross bouncing up and down on top of him in a semi-frenzied manner. That's certainly what I would be doing if I was stuck in London. You don't get such delights here in the Peak District, darlings. Believe it or not, there is no red light district here in Watshelf / Eastmoor. Oh, look at me giving away where I live, like you all didn't know anyway. I like going to the shop and farting. I like going to the shop and farting. A hidden message from Pingu Concord, one of my favourite people. Tittybiscuits to you, Admiral Boaty. How very kind, Pingu. And yes, the tittiest of biscuits back at you, my dear friend. Simone, Hooked on Classics, another community channel, says, boobies and knockers. Right. Is this some game of which I'm not aware that was going on in an earlier live stream where you have to come up with alternative or colloquial terms for breast? I imagine that it might be something along those lines. We'll plough through the comments and I might add a few of my own. Dazed and confused, says Dinosaur Dad. And I was going to say that's a Neil Diamond track, but it isn't. That's Amazed and Confused. But it's close, isn't it? Dazed and confused is just my normal way of going through life. Good evening, everyone, says Pure Evil, who, if I remember correctly, is actually called Adam and is a rather splendid chap with a rather excellent good lady. And I watched one of your good lady's videos today, Adam, and it was jolly good. And thank you for including Shison, even if you didn't apparently include Mus Henrietta Pye, who is of course now Simon's car but used to be mine. Yes, right. Simone says, I have a film out tomorrow. Excellent. And Jimmy Quinn watches them all. Good for you, mate. Matt says, my scratch card giveaway is definitely flawed. An electric lottery will be better for you to use for this, I think. It's not flawed, Matt. It's great. I just need to scratch them here on the live stream, build up a bit of excitement, and then I can electronically ping any of the winnings to any of the winners. Job done. So it's not flawed in the least. It's great fun, and it's incredibly generous of you to do it, Matt. And on behalf of everybody, I thank you. Joe Cox had lamb tikka masala, chips and rice from the local Indian. Now, what do we think about that, darlings? What do we think about that? Now, if I were in charge, tikka masala would become illegal, as would korma. No offence to those that like them, but they're not a curry. They're not even a main course. They are a dessert. They are so full of sugar. Oh my God. They're certainly too sweet to be a main course. They're absolutely a dessert. If you're going to have a curry, have a curry. And then we're on to the question of chips and rice, double carbs. Now, I have to be a little bit careful on this because I frequently, in fact, almost invariably, when I have staff curry, I have rice and naan, which is double carbs, really. Well, it is double carbs, but I only have 1/4 of a naan bread and half a portion of rice. So it's not double anything. It's 3/4 of a single carb would be my argument. And that is exactly what I'll be having tonight. And if you don't believe me, I'll bloody well prove it to you. I've got to take this out anyway. Here is the entirety of my naan stock. Look, and you can tell it's mine. It's got Mr. Boaty written on it. I didn't make this one. This was made for me by the lovely Gopi, who will appear on tomorrow's video, fleetingly. There, that's all I've got. 1/4 of a naan, which I will have with half a portion of rice and a bit of staff curry. And again, you know, when I say a portion of curry, it's not a portion like you lot have. It's not one of those 650. Why am I putting this back in the freezer? Needs to stay out. Oh, I need to take the curry out of the freezer. Of course I do. Now, when you have a curry, you have a 650ml container of curry. I know you do. That's what we serve. That's what everybody serves. I don't. That's what I have. A 500ml container, and it's not even full. Look, it's about 2/3. 2/3 of that. So 2/3 of a small thing of curry, 1/4 of a naan, half a portion of rice. It fucking amazes me that I'm fat. It's not fair, is it? I only have to walk past a chip shop and I put on a stone. I'm actually careful about what I eat. You wouldn't think so, would you? But that's middle age for you, darlings. And not enough exercise and too much wine. Who cares? Who cares at my age? Who cares if I'm fat? Who cares if I'm ugly? Nobody. I just hide away here in the Peak District, in my little cottage, hurting nobody and asking only not to be hurt in return. Although, I didn't hide away today. I went to a very dangerous place. And I'm going to tell you all about it if I ever get through these fucking comments. And do keep them coming. I'm not trying to put you off commenting, darlings. The fault is entirely mine for not focusing on interacting with you, the beautiful people who I love dearly and who represent the most valuable aspect and part of my life. And I just deal with you very unprofessionally, quite frankly. Quite honestly, you deserve a lot better. You know, I wouldn't blame you if you all sodded off and watched Hubnut instead. I would. I really would. Don't do that. Don't do that. Although, I am going to get a bit Hubnut in a minute when I start talking about what happened today. Oh yeah. Oh yes, baby. Now then. Where did I get to? Oh yeah, Joe with his lamb tikka masala, chips and rice. Oven chips, says Simon incredulously. What the fuck? Yeah, well, it's a bad habit that I slipped into when oil was too expensive. And deep frying is a faff. I haven't got a deep fryer. I do it, I do it old school. I put oil in a pan and deep fry that way in a chip basket. Haven't done it for ages, but the chips are amazing. I should do. And Barry had homemade chicken fajita wrap. Oh, that sounds good. Simon had salami, red Leicester cheese and tomatoes for dinner. I've had nothing to eat since 8 a.m, says Steve Cold. I've had a tooth out. Yeah, well, you have my sympathies there. I can't imagine actually having to pay good money to have a tooth out. Just try getting old like me. They just fall out whether you like it or not. Bloody hell. Don't go wonky or become a donkey, says Chaz Brown, who is in our midst. Hi, Boaty. Hi to you. I bruised my thumb opening Mustard's gate the other week. It proper stung, says Simon. Yeah, if it's been properly put home, you have to kick it. It's the only way. Don't try handling it with your little hands. You have to give it a good old boot. It's absolutely the only way. It's what we all do. Even after Mustard fettled it, if it's been well and truly put home, you ain't gonna do it with your hands. Joe says, burning your thumb on the cigarette lighter reminded me of Mr. Bean. Yeah, that wasn't my proudest moment, was it? Simon says, that painting of Blackpool behind you is very romantic. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah. Blackpool. Oh, hello, Julie's with us. Hey up, Boaty McBoaster. Simon, did you send Boatman the link to the microphone? He did. And thank you. Bless you, says Joe. You're most welcome for the wind deflectors. And I wondered why I didn't get a proof of postage photo. Ah, right, yeah, that would be it. You wouldn't have wanted to see that, Joe. I'd kind of woken up and it was just a little bit early for me to actually get up. I'm trying to get up in the sort of 8:30 to 9 slot. Now, I knew I was going to have to get up this morning because I had to go to deepest, darkest Sheffield and a really dodgy part of Sheffield. Which meant, given how the day was then likely to go, that I was going to have to get tonight's video completely edited, uploaded, all done, sorted before I went to Sheffield. And I needed to leave for Sheffield at about midday. And the edit and everything, I knew it was going to take 3.5 hours. So I was planning to be up in the 8:30 to 9 slot anyway. But I woke up at about 7:30, went and had a pee. Thought, nah, it's a little bit early. I'll just close my eyes and, have a dream where I'm spooning Lionel Blair. And then I was just kind of drifting away in that lovely morning thing where my eyes had been open. I'd seen that the sheep were back in my field. They'd been away for a while and now they're back in with the lambs, and God knows they won't be short of food because the field spring growth has become well and truly overgrown. So that was a lovely thing to see. The sheep alternate between 3 fields. And the one that I call my field, it's not mine, I don't own it. Neither does the farmer who farms it. It's owned by Gordon, who used to live in the £1 million house there, and now doesn't. But when he sold the house to the lovely people who had the pub in Hollymoorside, and said, yeah, we'll buy £1 million house, why not, we'll retire there. And they've sold the pub now. But he didn't sell the fields. And the reason that he didn't sell the field was because, as you know, the main road is quite close. And there is traffic noise. You'll know this. You'll know this if you've been here. You'll know this if you've watched my videos. Now, what we all wanted to do was we asked Gordon, we want to plant trees in the field. We want to plant a row of trees so that they create a barrier to the wind noise and the dirt that comes off the main road. And Gordon said no, in a Scottish accent. So then we said, okay, we'll buy the field off you. Collectively, we will buy actually, Nicky Nunu said, I will buy the field off you. Nicky Nunu's got pots of money. And we all said, yeah, we will buy it as a collective. I don't know why I said that, because I couldn't join in, but I just didn't want to feel left out, you know. And Gordon refuses to sell it. He doesn't even live here anymore. He downsized he must be in his late 70s now, him and his wife. And they downsized down nearer in the town somewhere from the £1 million house. But he still won't sell the field, even though he doesn't live here, because he knows that we'd plant trees on it, and that would make our lives better, because it would give us a shield from the noise, and all of the shit wouldn't come flying off the road and cover our cars half an hour after we've washed them. I don't know why, but there you are. That's how it is. And the trees wouldn't hurt. They wouldn't stop the farmer from farming. They wouldn't stop the sheep from grazing. And we all know trees are jolly good for the environment. So it's really annoying that he won't sell the bloody field. What we should do, of course, now that he doesn't live here, is just plant the damn trees anyway, and then see what he does about it. He's a Scotsman. Is he going to spend his own money having the trees dug up or chopped down? I bet you he wouldn't. It would just be a fait accompli. And I don't know if planting trees on somebody else's land is a crime. I suppose it probably is. But we could just claim that the seeds or whatever trees grow from landed there by accident, couldn't we? That's a plan. I'm going to suggest that to Nicky Nunu tomorrow. Right. Jolly good. Well, this is going awfully well, isn't it? Sorry about him waking you up. How dare they wake Sir Boaty in his panties? I will email and complain. Don't. I was actually really glad they got here early, Joe, because I was worried about going out to deepest, darkest Sheffield, them arriving when I'm not here, and not being left because none of my neighbours would be in. My neighbours either work or they're retired and they spend all of their time in America or the Caribbean or something. They're all rich. Everybody's stinking rich here. They're literally all millionaires. So I'm like a post office box. I take everybody's post because I'm here during the day. But there is seldom anybody here to take mine if I happen to be out. And I thought, oh, it's sod's law. The wind deflectors will arrive when I'm heading off to deepest, darkest Sheffield. And I'll have to schlep down to the main post office thing in the town. And I hate going to the town. So I was glad they arrived early, and I didn't mind having to answer the door in my panties in the least. Oh, I never opened the box, says Joe, so I hope they're okay and correct. I'm sure there will be. I have ordered wind deflectors before, and once one was broken. But these look jolly well packed, and I'm sure they'll be fine. Nigel Fleck is with us. Good evening to you. It's okay. I never refer to his Yeah, very wise, Adam. Very wise. Extend those 3 business days to 28 for me. Titties, says Rover Joe. That was a hidden comment, but I've unhidden it. And obviously there's a thing going on where we all mention words for breasts, and I enjoy that. Adam, not Andy, says Simon. Or is that Sean? I do hope that's happening for Rob, says Ross. And Simon agrees, he hopes so too. And I watched your, oh right, okay, yeah, jolly good. Right, splendid. Adam says, I can't take any credit for the video other than being the chauffeur. The video is all Dib's work. It was the weekly special at the Indian, says Joe, so cheaper food. And double carbs because it was a treat, had a rubbish day. Well, that's fair enough, we all need a treat. I like a korma, says Simon. Very bravely, really. But I agree, it's weak. In fact, I tried getting a proper curry a few times, and a lot of them are less than hot. I've settled on boonas now. Okay? I would urge you to be adventurous, not just you, Simon, all of you. Why not go to an authentic curry house? And why not try a curry that's authentic to the region of the people operating the curry house, rather than a boona, a Boaty, a korma, a tikka masala, a madras, a Rogan Josh. None of those are authentic dishes. They're all invented in Europe for the European palate. And, you know, they're okay. They're okay if you like that sort of thing. But, you know, we're becoming a very multicultural, in a culinary sense, society now. So do try some authentic dishes all over the place now. Certainly if you live in a city, you will find, or even a town like Rochdale, look at Milkston Road, you will find places that serve authentic food that's authentic to the region. And I would urge you to try it now and then, rather than only eating the specifically UK dishes that are theoretically Indian or Asian or Chinese, but they're not really. You ask a Bangladeshi or any Indian whether they eat a boona. They don't, of course they don't. They're English dishes. Anyway, there's a place in Germany called Rover. I wonder if it's a dogging spot. Almost certainly, yeah. Have you sold, asks Pingu Concord, dependable diesel daily driven Derek yet? No, Derek remains unsold. And today, although I took him into deepest, darkest Sheffield, he is not only unsold, he is unimproved. I've not done anything to improve him today. And I may not tomorrow, because tomorrow's going to be Land Rover Day. But I am absolutely loving driving him. The love affair is deepening. But no, nobody has bought him yet. I feel the need to ask that we pause and ask our host, how is Boaty? That's very kind of you, Simon. I'm grand. I'm as happy as a sandboy at the moment. Life is great. Yeah, loving it. Every day's a joy. Long may it continue. Please, oh mighty FSM, please don't reach out with your noodly appendage and make something awful happen to me. Hi Boaty and everyone in chat, says D-Mac. Evening Mr. Boaty, says Alan Jones. Oh, Hobnob, says Steve Cole. Hobnob and tea. Okie dokie. Good evening England, says Stephen S. Paul. Oh, Joe says, ooh, did you manage to buy those £40 bargains? Yes, yes, yes. And they turned out to be more of a bargain than I thought they were going to be. And the collection caper was a bit dodgier. In fact, a lot dodgier than I ever expected it might be. I'll tell you about that when I get through the comments. This week is going to be fast, says Simon. I took Henrietta out for a little trip today. Don't tell Margaret, she's my favourite at the moment. Good man. Henny's lovely. I mean, I liked Henny when I had her, but she's a different car now with you, and it's going to become even more different. And I was going to say I was jealous when I drove her the other day and saw, you know, everything that you'd done, but that would be bollocks. I'm not jealous in the least. I'm patting myself on the back for having made the decision to sell her to the right home, a better home than me. I knew you'd do that with her, and I'm so glad. I'm glad for you and for her. You both deserve it. And I'm really chuffed that I still get to see him, still get contact, still in the community. I think it's brilliant. He won't sell the field, says Simon. There'll be bodies in that field. Oh God, that wouldn't surprise me actually. Gordon took no prisoners. He was a nice guy. I got on really well with him, but he's a man that doesn't suffer fools gladly. Made a lot of money in the business world. Good as gold, nice as pie. Don't cross him, and he doesn't like fools. We got on great actually. I might have sounded a bit anti-Gordon, but I don't understand why he won't sell the field. But he's not a bad chap by any manner of means. I really enjoyed hanging out with him. Matt says, I like the way it's gone tonight. It would be great to have a community channel night where you just open a live stream about 7 or 8 and any community channels can join a party stroke Zoom style stream. That's an interesting idea, Matt. I think the next thing that's going to happen is going to be joint lives, isn't it? I think that's kind of possibly the natural progression. And I can tell you who'll be the first people to do it. Me and Mustard. We have already got it planned. I don't want to tell you about it because I don't want to spoil the surprise. Or maybe I should tell you about it to ask you if you think it's a good idea and get you ready to watch it. So I will. All right. This is what Mustard and I have got planned to do. Mustard and Boaty's working lunch. So we're going to set aside half an hour per day where we are going to stop what we're doing and have lunch. And we're going to joint together live stream it. Mustard from the workshop of desperation in the Art of Dreams, obviously. And me from here. But so it's going to be like our lunch videos, kind of, except it's going to be a live stream. And yeah, we're going to do a joint live. It will be strictly a lunch break, half an hour max. We're not allowed to go over. It'll be the same time each day, and that's what it's going to be. So we can get you up to date on what we're doing that day, just chat, hang out with you, let you know how the projects are going, because there are going to be more joint projects. I'm planning to buy 1 car per week. Every Monday, the plan is that Mustard and I go out and buy a car. And then ideally, at some point after the Monday, we sell a couple. And we all know how well that went last time. But yeah, that's going to be the idea with the live streams. Now, obviously, Monday to Friday, a lot of you are going to be at work and won't be able to watch them. And we know that. But they're available to watch on catch up, aren't they? So, there you go. Nobody will be excluded, and the way that we're planning on doing it is that one channel will do Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and the other channel will do Wednesday, Friday, and possibly Sunday, if we're not doing anything else. I mean, it'll end up not being every day because real life will get in the way, but that's going to be kind of the planned format. Let's see. Old school cooking is best, says D-Mac. A big fire in the garden. Right, okay. Oh, and we need to use my barbecue soon. Yeah. I've owned it for 8 years. It'd be nice for it to be used for the first time. We definitely need a community barbecue, says underscore. Well, with all the gear that I bought today, then I'm presuming that a couple of you have seen my first Land Rover Lunches video. What about we have a meet up there and do a cookout there? It's ideal. And I've got loads of stuff now that we could use, and we could all bring food and drink, and nobody would charge us £16.50. But yeah, why not do that? Why not just meet up on Longston Edge, a beautiful part of the world, a beautiful place, in a series of nice big lay-bys, hang out in the beautiful English countryside in hopefully good weather, and have a cookout, barbecue, whatever. I mean, that would be, I would love that. I would love to do that. A message held review, and it's from D-Mac. Breasts, tits, big and bigger. Okay. Right. Dinner tonight, says Jimmy Quinn. Oh, he's back to normal. Fresh king prawns in garlic and chilli, and large ribeye steak and chips. Oh. The life you live, Jimmy Quinn. Nigel likes jalfrezi and dansak as well. Well, at least dansak is getting a bit more towards the authentic side of things. Jalfrezi isn't, but dansak is. Because, you know, at least you're throwing some dal in there. And if you are of the Asian persuasion, then dal is a daily meal, literally every day. Evenings might vary, but lunchtime is dal, rice, vegetables, day in, day out. Adam had a katsu chicken curry tonight. Can't go wrong with that. Good for you, sir. Boaty is a sexy beast. Bloody hell. I wouldn't go that far. Well, I definitely wouldn't go that far. Leave Derek in Sheffield too long and he'll end up getting modified. Believe me, I got my arse out of that particular part of Sheffield rapido. I was planning to do, I planned set up a bit of filming to do there when I collected the stuff. I'd set up a thing about the turbo diesel Rover 25 being the perfect car for Facebook Marketplace haunting because it's incredibly economical. So when you go and pick up your marketplace bargains, either it costs you less or you can widen your search radius, thus offering the possibility of a greater number of bargains, and it won't cost you any more because the car is more economical. Plus, when you put the back seats down in a Rover 25, and it's so easy to do, 2 little clips, bang, straight down. You've got a really good load space there. And I was planning to go on about that as I was loading my bargains into the car. Fuck that, no. I shoved them in there and I got my arse out of there sharpish. It was, I mean, you know, I come from a council estate, mostly. I didn't start out that way, but after Dad was taken poor, I was brought up on a council estate. Not a particularly bad one, but so I don't want to sound snobbish, but this was an area of Sheffield I'd not been to before, and it had a series of weird semi-high-rise flat blocks. But it was one of those areas where I got there at like 12:30 and nobody's at work. They're all hanging around there, either inside or outside. They're all taking drugs and they're all drinking Stella. And it was a bit tricky woo. You'll see on the video. And the guy I was collecting this camping stuff from was on the top floor of this tower block. So I got in the lift, pressed the button, thank God there was a lift. And as I'm going to go in, cat weasel's in there with a spliff the size of this, inside the lift, in the building. You know, such things are apparently not banned in Sheffield and not in this tower block anyway. So he's got a spliff in one hand and a can in the other. And he wasn't exactly dressed for a day of work at the bank, let's put it that way. It was perfectly all right. Everybody there was perfectly all right, absolutely lovely. There really wasn't an issue at all. And you know, I come across as a snob, but I'm not really. I have humble origins, and I'll get on with anybody, and I always give everybody the benefit of the doubt, and I always assume the best of people. But it was a bit bloody dodgy, or at least it seemed it anyway. But hey ho. Simon says, if Derek was a 3-door, I'd be all over him like a custard on a sponge. I can't say anything, says Adam. I have 2 3-doors, so I guess I have 6 doors. Maybe that's better than a 5-door. No. Apparently my moves are spectacular. Hell yeah. Jeffrey and Archer. Dear. Oh, Simona's already done a joint live with Simon. Okay, then you are indeed the pioneers. I will sell you a boat, Boaty, says D-Mac. I would never buy a boat. Now, I abide by the rule that if you get a bit of money behind you, as I did, then there is one rule in life, and I always followed it. If it floats, fornicates, or flies, rent it, don't buy it. And I always followed that, well, with the exception of the fornication, because I got married, I bought that one. But when I was flying, I always rented. I say flying, I never had a powered license. I had a glider's license, non-powered flight license. And I never bought a glider, I always rented. And when it comes to boats, I always rented those as well. Because if you've ever owned a boat, you will know that there are 2 wonderful days of ownership. The day you buy it and the day you sell it. The rest is a bloody expensive nightmare. So remember, guys, if you've got a few bob, or if you become successful and get a few bob, if it flies, fucks or float, rent, don't buy. There you go. Oh, it's nearly midnight. Is it? I haven't said anything. All I've done is try and get through your messages. I haven't told you anything. I haven't scratched the cards. Oh, this is a nightmare. A cook-up meet-out sounds awesome, says Simon. Well, let's organise it. Let's get it going. I'm up for it. I've got loads of gear now. Let's organise it. Let's get something going in the Facebook group. Why am I doing this? Why can't I stop? Stop! Matt says, I definitely could do with an excuse to get out as far as Longston Edge. Absolutely. Joe says, Boaty, we still need to hear about the bargains, Derek's keys, scratch cards, and any other things we managed to do yesterday down to the internet ghosts. I know I'm trying to get through the comments. No, excuse me. Also, any news on Stigbürt? Still no news. Stigbürt's going to cost a bit more, I think. I can't find the parts that meet the approval of the mechanics. I'm going to get in touch with Tom Force tomorrow, and I'm obviously going to have to get proper reconditioned or parts from a trusted breaker, you know, a specialist dealer of some sort, and that's going to cost a bit more than I was hoping, I imagine. So still no news on Stigbürt. The wheels are down there. I just need to find the parts, and then I need to pay for the parts. So those are the 2 issues. Right, that's a pants idea. Stephen S. Paul says, is Sheffield that bad over there? I'm used to rough and tough areas. You name it, I've seen it. Well, look, Steve Nesball, I have too. Everything's relative, isn't it? I mean, compared to where I live, it was a little bit of a rough and dodgy area, yeah? But I'm not saying that it was one of the worst areas in the world. I have driven through Iran and Iraq. I've lived in America. I hung out in the ghettos in Chicago. I've been to mafia clubs in Ukraine. I've been beaten up and robbed. You know, I've been to all of the places you shouldn't go to. I've been to some seriously dodgy places in Africa and in many other places. So, no, Sheffield isn't that bad. It was just a little bit of culture shock compared to what I've been used to lately, is all. And it came a bit unexpected. When you go to pick up top of the range, really expensive. I mean, it wasn't expensive when I bought it, obviously, but it was expensive to buy. It was probably bloody stolen, not bought. Oh no, hush your mouth, you can't say things like that. But yeah, when you go to buy really expensive camping gear, top of the range stuff, it comes as a bit of a shock when it's in a really dodgy council estate in a top floor flat. Although maybe it shouldn't be. Maybe that's me being judgmental. If I lived in a top floor flat in a dodgy council estate, I'd want to go out camping, get away from it, get out into the beautiful green stuff. So yeah, shut up, Boaty. Who the fuck are you to talk? Sheffield is a lawless place, to be fair. Well, parts of Sheffield are a bit dodgy, Adam, aren't they? Oh, you're all talking about Hoovers now for some reason. And leaky seals. And 3 doors. Bradford was the worst place I ever went to, said Joe. I'll do a deal with you, Boaty, says D-Mac. Chinese madam for the boat. To be honest, no, I'd take Chinese madam over the boat. Chinese madam only used to fuck me in the mornings. Well, sometimes in the evenings as well, if she was having one of those days. Whereas a boat used to fuck me over all day long. Fuck my wallet over anyway. So, no deal on that one. And a boat can't cook, a genuine Chinese dish, and it's simply called cold noodles. Popped up on my Facebook memories today, and that is something I really miss about Chinese madam. I've never been able to make that dish. It's called just cold noodles. It's the most amazing thing ever. I used to get her to make it for me regularly after I fell in love with it the first time she made it. And brilliant, because, I mean, it is actually cold, and it does contain noodles, but that doesn't begin to describe the wonderfulness of it. And it's the best thing ever for picnics and going out and whatever. When I took her for a day trip to Llandudno, we had cold noodles for our lunch. It was amazing. You know, I'd take her back just to have that back in my life and suffer being ruthlessly podgered on a daily basis, whether I like it or not. Funnily enough, I was looking at some, I had to go through my Amazon photo storage that I keep separate. I got it when it came up free, I don't pay for it. And I needed to find some old photos, and I found all of the photos that Chinese madam sent to me when she was away in China and we hadn't met in person. She'd gone back to China at the beginning of the pandemic, in between completing her master's in Swansea and starting a PhD in Liverpool. So when the pandemic all kicked off, she went back to China. and that was when she found me. And I found all of the photos that she sent me when she was trying to seduce me. And God almighty, they weren't fake or anything like that. They were her, absolutely her. I just forgotten how stunningly gorgeous she was. God, I can't blame myself for falling for her, hook, line and sinker. Oh, dear me. Oh, good evening, says Mickey Jeffries, and good evening to you. Hope your live went well. And Trace is here as well. Evening all, just finished our stream. Thanks to Jimmy for popping in. And thanks to anyone who lurked or watched. Hope everyone's well. Lovely to have you with us. Oh, right, okay, jolly good. Oh, I've caught up. Thank Christ for that. I've caught up. I've caught up with the comments. And Stigbürt is going. Just as I'm about to start telling you stuff, he's going. He's buggering off. Right. Let's get some stuff done. Okay. I'm going to do the scratch cards and get that out of the way. I want to tell you about the bargains. You'll see bits of them on the let's do scratch card, then I'll talk about the bargains. Okay, this one, I need you to witness this. Oh, don't all say good night to everybody. Hang on for the scratch cards. This one is Mr. Beards and Bangers. Okay, right, the £7,000 one. Watch me doing this. I don't want any accusations of impropriety. Right. Oh, Christ, hang on. I can't see now. It's too dark. Oh, God. Right, you rub off the things. 1 7 is £1. 2 7s is £2. 3 7s is £3. Oh, okay. And other than that, match 3 identical amounts to win one of those. Okay, so it's a two-way thing. Right, let's go for it. So this is Mr. Beards and Bangers, and this was his prize for winning the Boaty's World Great Sausage and Mash-Off. Okay, I'll do it in 3 lines. God, I'm going to be up and down like a horse draws. Line 1, £7,202. No 7s, no win yet. Oh, another 2,000, a 20 and a 100. So, sorry, another 7,000, a 20 and a 100. So no win yet. A 5, a 10 and a 200. So we've got 7,000, 7,005, 220, 10, 200, 102. So that is a loser. Sod all for Mr. B&B. So there you go. Good job we saved the postage fee, wasn't it? All right. Have a look at that. You can take a screenshot. You can witness that, unfortunately, Mr. B&B, who is, we suspect, currently into hour 2 with his King's Cross hooker, full of wine, possibly a kebab, who knows. Anyway, he's shit out. He's sod all for Mr. B&B. Now then, moving on to the lovely Joe Cox. And Rob is lovely as well. This one is £100,000, potentially. And this is Joe Cox's prize for whatever competition it was last night. Which of my cars have got illuminated ignition barrel-y things? Right, this one is simple. Match 3 to win. There's a multiplier box there, so your prize can be multipled. Oh, fucking hard work this is. Hard work. Oh, touch wood, the internet's been good tonight, hasn't it? You watch, it'll go off now. But, oh, a message held for review. Oh, it's Jimmy Quinn complaining about the bloody scratch cards. Right. Scratch card number 2, then anybody who wants to can bugger off. I will spend 5 minutes telling you about the bargains. Don't worry if you can't listen for that, you'll see a bit of it in tomorrow's video. Okay, here we go. I won't jump up and down, I'll just tell you and then I'll show you at the end. We need 3 the same, right? £10, £20, £10, first line. Oh, so £10, £20, £10. We got 2 10s. And this is for Joe Cox. Second line. 100, 50, 20. All right, so we've got 2 20s and 2 10s and 100 and a 50. Oh, let's rub off the multiplier just to excite us. The multiplier is times 1, so no multiplier. Okay, so third and last line, we need a, oh dear, we need a 10 or a 20. Show us the pictures of Chinese madam. Okay, all right, I will. Let me do this first. Yes, Jimmy, it's another shit scratch card. Okay, right, here we go. Line 3. I'll do it slowly. Oh, 100. So that's 2 100s. So we've got 2 left to scratch. We need it to be a 10, a 20, or 100. Here we go. No, 5,004. Sorry, Joe, you've shit out as well. Sorry, mate. There you go. That's your card, Joe. You can see there, all above board. And unfortunately, no winners on either of those. But I've got some more, thanks to the lovely Matt, and we can try again, can't we? Right, okay, jolly good. Okay, so now, if you need to go, go. I'm going to tell you very quickly about the bargains, and I'm going to show D-Mac the pictures of Chinese madam, because he's asked me to, and why not? Have I got them on my phone, or are they only on my iPad? Might be only on the iPad. Hold on. So I can't look at your chat, so I'm going to have to go onto Amazon Photos. Where is it? Ah, there it is. And I have to scroll back about 2 years. Oh, 2022. Oh, hang on. Might be getting close now. Oh no, those are Bernard's breasts. You don't want to see those. God, why have I got all of those pictures? Oh, hang on, right, those are the pictures of us together. Go back a bit more. Oh, that's me and Bernard. Bloody hell. I forgot about that night. More breasts. Oh, look at that ass. Bloody hell. I forgot that one. That is absolutely sensational. Jesus. Oh, and my Galaxy. I loved my Galaxy. I should have kept that. That would have been a great day camper. All right, we're getting on to Madam now, but that's Madam when she was here. We need Madam in China when she was trying to seduce me. Those are the ones you want to see. Oh, God. Nice pie. Oh, that looks nice, actually. That was the day I got it from the airport. Bernard's breasts again. Okay, here you go. There's one. There's another one. There's another one. Oh, I can't show you that one. There's another one. That's quite a nice one. And that's enough of that. Let's get back to your comments and talking about my bargains. YouTube, that's you. Here we are. Oh, I'm all out of sync now. Here we are. The mustard stream and talk of curry caused me to make a crisp sandwich. Trace says, no wonder Boaty doesn't watch porn. He's got albums of boobs and buttocks on his iPad. There's videos on there as well, Trace. Yeah. It's not my fault people send me stuff. Oh, you know what? Now, I can't show you these, so don't even ask. But when I was going through those photos today, looking for something completely else, same kind of situation when Boo and I, before we actually met, she took a series of photos to make sure that I was interested. And I found those today. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. Oh, what? I might show you one, actually. Not tonight, though. Not tonight, because I can't be bothered to go looking for it again. I was going to say I can't show you them, but they subsequently appeared on, I don't think it was OnlyFans, but something similar, because when I dumped her, I guess she thought she might as well make a few bob from them. So it's not like I'm showing you anything that you couldn't see anyway. It's just that you'd have to pay. But yeah, she took that. Ooh, tell you what. Why is he scrolling Amazon for boobies? Oh, very pretty. Quite a looker, wasn't she? In my experience, means she was bonkers. I would, says Nigel. Did she love you long time, Boaty? Well, yeah, she did, but then she didn't speak like that. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, you're talking about a doctor who works internationally, so she certainly didn't speak pidgin English. Oh, you know her, D-Mac. Oh, there you go. Boo the Freelander. No, no. Boo who the Freelander is named after. Right, I've caught up with the comments again. I'll quickly tell you about these bargains and then let's all go to bed, shall we? God, I'm knackered. Actually, after all the build-up, there's not much to tell you. As you know, I found what looked like a bargain on Marketplace. I tried to buy them, the guy disappeared, then he reappeared, apologising for not having been in touch. He reappeared on last night, Monday. What day is it today? Wednesday. No, Tuesday. He reappeared on Tuesday night after about 5 days, whatever it was. Said, do you still want them? I said, yes, please. Can I collect them during the day? I said, he said, yes. Can you come tomorrow? I said, yeah, I could get there about 1. He said, yeah, that's fine. And he sent me the address. So, okay. That box of wine looks grim. Not as grim as last night, mate. That's almost palatable, that is. So yeah, so I set off today. And like I say, I was surprised at where the address led me to. I knew generally where I was going, south of the city. Actually, bordering on an area that I used to deliver in. So a lot of what I drove through I was very familiar with, and it brought back memories. But yeah, the actual destination was a surprise. I wasn't factoring in dodgy estates and tower blocks. You'll see a bit in the video tomorrow. I mean, it wasn't that bad. Not by any means. And the guy was very pleasant indeed. It was just a little bit of a shock. But let's get on to the good bit. What did I actually buy? Well, now bear in mind that this is for multiple purpose. It's going to live in Boo. It's going to live in the Land Rover. Yeah, she is very young, D-Mac. That was one of the, yeah, she was too young, really. That's why I initially said, no, not interested. The age gap is too big. And she convinced me that, you know, in their culture, it was perfectly normal, and I just need to readjust my mind. She was about 22 years younger than me. And yeah, very fresh. And more to the point, yeah, I mean, obviously she was undeniably good looking, but she was incredibly clever, incredibly hardworking, and pretty damned rich. And she earned it all off her own back. She came from a poor area of China. She was brought up in near poverty. She paid for the entirety of her own education. She worked her ass off professionally, built up a property portfolio, dealt in property very successfully, paid for her own education, which is very rare in China. Most Chinese students who come to the UK or America, they are sponsored by the Chinese government, and they have to sign a contract that they will go back and work in China when they've completed their education. Hui wasn't having any of that. She paid for it herself, every single penny. And that's incredible. So she was kind and sweet and lovely and incredibly clever, incredibly hardworking. Yeah, I mean, again, it's a shame that I wanted us to stay friends. I wanted to support her in any way that I could. And she was just too angry with me for ending it. And it wasn't just me. It wasn't just that she loved me, although she did. She loved here. She loved the cottage. She loved the area. She loved the lifestyle. Until she left China for the first time, she'd never seen a blue sky. Where she came from in China, the sky was just smoke, endless smoke. And she used to send pictures of here back home so that people who'd never left like she did could see what the rest of the world was like. That you could have a blue sky, that you could have green fields, that you could have open spaces. And she was amazing. Everybody loved her here. I think everybody either thought I was an idiot for getting rid of her or a bastard. She loved the village. She knew everybody here. She used to walk around everywhere, and she would talk to everybody and made friends with absolutely everybody. I'd been living here for 5 or 6 years when Hui moved in with me. And she was meeting people that I've never met. She was in their homes, and she was just that kind of person. Everybody adored her. And yeah, and it's a shame that we're not in touch anymore. She was so angry with me. So angry. Oh, black lines. You don't need a beautiful, young, educated, rich and horny Chinese lady. You have us. I love that. Oh, God, I love that. You're worth your weight in gold, you are, sir. Oh, bless you. And it's true. Of course I have you. I wish. I don't often look back with regret or anything, but I wish I'd done this YouTube thing when I was with Hui. It could have saved the relationship. We kind of did something similar on Instagram and Facebook. We set up a kind of Facebook or Instagram blog called East Meets West, where we individually spoke about the culture shock or the differences of literally East meets West and living together and doing everything together. If we'd have done that on YouTube, I reckon we would both have been big stars by now, because she was funny as well. And on video, you know, oh God, it would have been immense. Simon's off to sleep anyway. And we all will be very shortly. I will just tell you about the stuff I bought today very quickly, and then we'll go. And I'll get ready to play you out here. Okay, I bought, and it is all high gear, elite, top of the range stuff. So I've got a really nice chair. It's the high gear elite. Oh, I've forgotten the name of it. But it's not like one of those camping chairs. It's really expensive. It's like £100 chair, and it's like a director's chair. It's really good quality. It's really good solid, really good and solid. Folds up really small in a bag like everything else that's there, and that's brilliant. Took me ages to work out how to put it together because there were no instructions, but I got there in the end. I've got a high gear elite single table, which is the same kind of design as the little one I've got that Jimmy Quinn says is shit. But it's the same concept of design, rolls up really small in a bag, but it's a million times better quality and it's bigger. It's like, I don't know, that size. And that's like a £90 table. And then I've got the same again, but a double table, twice the size. Comes in a thing like that. I haven't put that one up, but it works in exactly the same way as the smaller one. That's going to be brilliant. That's like a super expensive table. And then I've got 2 camp kitchens that fold up, and they've got canvas. It's like a canvas cupboard for camping, and there are plastic or wood or MDF inserts that go in. So you've got a full cupboard that you can zip up and store all of your stuff in, and then there's a surface on top that you could cook on. And there are 2 of those. They're really expensive. Those camp kitchens, they're like £100 a throw. And they're really good, and they fold up really nice and compact into a bag. I won't need much of it or hardly any of it for when I just do a Land Rover lunch on my own. But for when I do the full kit and caboodle, with all of the Kathmandu guys, all of the restaurant guys, and we all come out and do a big cookout, it'll be really useful. And if we have a meetup, it'll all be really useful. And of course, I've got the stuff I had already, the 2 stoves, the tiny little table and the tiny little chair. So basically, I've got over 400 quid stuff of virtually new and unused, top of the range gear, some of which will be used quite regularly, some of which will be more occasional, all of which will be packed away and live tidily in the boot of Boo the Land Rover. Well over 400 quid worth for 40 quid. And quite honestly, either one of the tables or the chair would have been worth 40 quid on its own, let alone all of the rest of the stuff. So that's brilliant, really excited about that. And tomorrow is going to be Land Rover Day. I'm going to move Derek from pole position, move him down, put Boo in pole position first thing in the morning, and have a day with Boo. I'm going to get all of that stuff is out there in the yard. It's an open space. I haven't even packed it all away. Crime isn't a thing here. Touch wood. So yeah, that's all out there. I'll get that all packed away and get it neatly in the Land Rover with colour-coded, elasticated bungee cords and all of that. And I will fit the wind deflectors so kindly sent to me by Joe, and I'll touch up a bit with Olatron and all of that, and show you all the gear lever gator properly, because I don't think that's been on a YouTube video yet. And that's all going to be great. And now I can let you go. Yeah, I wondered if it was nicked. I did wonder if it was all nicked. I really did. But, you know, what can you do? What can you do? It's going to, well, whatever. It's going to be brilliant for us. I'm really chuffed to have got it. I mean, 40 quid, however much of a bargain for it is, you all know me and the situation. 40 quid is a lot of pocket money for me to spend. And it's the sort of figure that 40 quid makes a difference to me. It means that I have to really quite significantly economise on something else, but so worth it. We're so going to get our money's worth out of that. I can't see there being a Land Rover lunch this week, but there will be next week. Tomorrow's going to be Land Rover fettling day and treat day, and then, God, it's Thursday tomorrow already, isn't it? And then we're into Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Is anything going on this weekend? Are we meeting up anywhere or doing anything on a Saturday or, well, Sunday's probably the best day. And then it's back into Monday. Another day at the Yard of Dreams with my lovely hairy Paddington. Between now and Monday, I need to find a car for us to buy. So there we are. That is it. That is it, darlings. Thank you for your company. Hour and a half, not too bad. Could have been worse. Kind of kept up with the comments a little bit. I didn't mean to do that. So, yeah, it's been a jolly good day, a productive day. There'll be a video out tomorrow, of course there will. Thank you for watching tonight's video, if you did. Right, doesn't seem to be anything arranged, says Matt, so perhaps an impromptu community meetup is worth attempting. Okay, let's put it out there, and Matt, do me a favour, unpaid intern, all of that. Stick it on the Facebook group in the morning, or now, you'll be up until 5 o'clock, won't you? Okay, how about Sunday, if the weather looks good, and I've not looked, I've got no idea, how about we do the Long Edge, the Longston Edge, lay-by, cookout, meet-up, drive, greet, mingle thing? How about it? And I will, of course, be back with you Same time, same place tomorrow night, 11 o'clock, Thursday Night Live. And let's go. Darlings, thank you so much. I've loved tonight. Listen, have a safe and peaceful night. I can't wait to catch you tomorrow. Have a great day tomorrow, and you take really good care of yourselves, all right? Bye-bye now.